Hello, this is Chris, the Vintage Fly Fisher. Today I am happy to bring to you a little piece of more modern history. This is the Loop Sage 707 Fly Reel. This is a very interesting reel. It's considered one of the first modern large arbors in history, in modern history, not old history. And it has a really interesting, neat design with the roller bearings on each side of the reel. It also is adjustable right here on the actual tension. On right now I have a little space. You never want to keep your bearings pressed against that spool over time. If you tighten this down, you can see it gives a slight bit of resistance, despite could free spool if you don't tighten it enough. It gives you a little bit of adjustability. This is a really neat reel that Sage put out in 1995. I love to balance this one on my 10-foot 5-weight RPL. It is a light reel for its size, so you do sometimes need to downsize the rod that you're putting it on, not necessarily a 7 for a 7, but I like this one on my long 5-weight. Now, there's a couple neat things about this reel. You can actually take the spool out and adjust for other spools or change out. These bearings that are attached here actually come out. And then you can see it has a housing. This is a full frame reel with extra bearings on the back side as well. And then your spool just rests against those bearings. You want to make sure you realign the bearings on the pegs and then settle this back in. When you're storing this reel, you want to leave some space. You don't want to cause any indentions on your, see I have it wiggling in some space, but now give it a little tension. You can set it for how you want it to be when it free spools. I like the sound of this reel. Now, really super neat reel. Now, you can see me fish it here a little bit. I paired it with my 10-foot 5-weight RPL, and I really love this combo together. It is super fun. So now I'm going to let you see a little bit of fishing it, and then I'll come back to you in the end with a little bit of interesting history about this reel.
Nice. That's a good one. Oh, and then I fell.
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I just soaked my whole bag.
Are you okay?
It's okay, yeah.
Are you okay? How neat. I love the sound of that reel. I love it when a fish is running. It makes that neat whirring sound. It's really something else. Now, a little bit of history. This was a popular reel at the time, considered a modern day large arbor. It had this neat bearing system. At the time, Loop was providing this reel for Sage. But the real maker of this reel in the background was a Swedish group called Danielsson. There was some controversy at some point over time. I don't want to get into that full history, but it was thought Loop actually copied the design and had some other Asian manufacturing plants provide the reel instead to cut Danielsson out. Now, over time, I believe Danielsson fought that, and that brings us to a modern Danielsson. This is an amazing reel that you can get right now new. I chose to pull out my dry fly. I have an extra spool for it here as well. You can see it has the same 3 bearings. It has a little different machining. I actually like the machining on this one, how they lightened it up. I do find these reels run very light for their size as well. So if you're worried about balancing it to the appropriate rod, you might go up a size. The next size up would be a nymph. I believe in the lineup. They make also a smaller midge. You can actually go to this Swedish group Danielsson online and actually look up these reels and find that they are an incredible value. Back in the day, Danielsson said, no problem, we're going to just provide the reel on our own without any of the other marketing or any of the other people involved. So at this point then, you can get these different reels in an actual modern day version that is actually so close. If you want to look here, Danielsson was making this for Loop, who provided it for Sage. Kind of some neat history. I love these reels. They're very interesting. The first time I ever saw them back in the 90s, I was really blown away with the very open spacing. Anyway, really fun, the Sage 707, and I want to thank you for your time again from the Vintage Fly Fisher, and I really hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.
God. Chris is catching a fish. I'm eating a meat stick. What?